Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Today I'm going to teach you all how to play She's Out of My Life by Michael Jackson using Easy Violin Tab. Now if you want to print out the free sheet music of this that I've got here, which I've done for you all, go and click in the link directly underneath this video. All links are underneath this video. Go and click underneath the video and there's loads of links there to the backing track, the MP3 and lots of other things. So go under there, completely free to print out. And the backing track, I've done the backing track myself. So I've done the backing track in the style of She's Out of My Life, which was originally sung and written by Michael Jackson. So I've done it in the style of that, but I've just added I've just tweaked it a little bit, but I've done the backing track myself. I've recorded it and all that kind of thing and mixed it and whatnot. And I've also got a video performance on this, which is at my new channel, which is coming up here. Or if you can't get annotations on your mobile device, I'll link it underneath as well. But please go and have a look at that channel. It's a new channel that I've just started up, Alison Sparrow, which is all my performances that I'm going to do. So please go and show that channel some love and subscribe to it and everything. That would be really cool. But all of the performance videos that I put on that channel will have a tutorial that goes with it, either on the piano or the violin, whichever I've done, and that will be at this channel, the Online Piano and Violin Tutor, which is where mainly all my tutorials are. So I now have a performance channel rather, with loads of performance videos on, and this tutorial channel that I have here. So first things first, go and click on the link and print out your Easy Violin tab, and once you've done that and you want to know how to play the song, then please keep watching. So the first thing that you need to do, and it is optional, but if you want to, put some stickers on your violin so you know where to put the first finger and you know where to put the third finger. Completely optional, yes I know, but it's up to you if you want to do that. I'll put in the link underneath the precise measurements of where you need to put the dots on the violin. So go and click underneath there if you want to know where to put those. But you can use anything you've got around the house that will stick, those little stars or whatever you've got, cut out some little lines, whatever kind of suits you. But once you've done that, then grab hold of your sheet music that I've linked underneath, and I'll just run through what I've done. It's 2 pages long for this, and all I've done is just put in the words of the verses and everything, and just above the words, above each of the word, will have a number, and that refers to what finger you're going to put on the violin, and then above that will be a letter, and that refers to what string you're going to be on at that time. So violin tab, it's easier to put the words in because then you can follow the words in your head if you know the tune, and then it's easy to put a finger to a word and that kind of thing. So She's Out of My Life, that's how it first starts. So you've got a 2 on she's, 4 on out, of is 3, my is 2 and life is 3. But she's, which is finger 2, is on the G string, and 4 for out is on the D string, as is 3 of is 3rd finger on the D, my is 2nd finger on the D, and life is 3rd finger on the D. So you can see all those 4 notes there for Out of My Life are all on the D string because I've put a D and then I've put a line going along it as well, so you know they're all on the same string until you get to the next line or till you get to another change of string. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory, that. The only other thing that I've done, which is kind of a bit of an Alisonism I suppose, is that I've put under some of the notes S and B. Now that's for stretched or back. So what I mean by that, and this is just the way I do it, if you've got say you've got your first finger on the dot and you've got your second finger on the third dot, the third finger on the other dot, the second finger can only ever go in 1 or 2 places. It can either go next to the third finger, which I call stretched, because it feels like you're kind of stretching it, or it goes back next to the first finger, which I call back, obviously. So mostly the S's and the B's on the music in red refer to the second fingers, although on this one it does actually occasionally refer to the third or the first finger. So what that means, if there's no S, if there's no red S or B in next to any of the notes or underneath any of the notes, then it's either just an open string or the first finger's on its dot or the third finger's on its dot. You'll always get one next to the finger 2 because that can only ever go in 1 or 2 places and you need to know where. But sometimes it goes on a 3. So you've got at the bottom, it cuts like a knife. You've got a stretched for a third finger on the A. So it cuts, and it cuts like a knife. So A, it cuts like a knife. So just before knife, you've got a third finger, which is on the A string, and that's stretched. So the third finger would normally go on the dot that you've got there, but because it's slightly stretched, it's just going to go a fraction above that orange dot, which is about there. So not on the dot, just sort of just right next to the dot. So imagine if you had your finger on the dot, if you put another finger next to it, that's how far away from the dot you're going to be. You've got a couple of back ones, I think, somewhere. Yes, you have, but on the second line, she's out of my life, you've got a back one on the A string, so that's quite far back. I think some people don't realise how far back the first finger actually goes, but it goes almost as far as until you hit the little ridge there, which is called the nut of the violin. So first finger normally goes on the dot, but it does actually go quite far back. After that, it just says repeat verse 1 above. This goes exactly with the backing track I've done as well, guys, so it all fits in quite nicely. And that's it. I mean, it's just all fairly self-explanatory. So if I just start by doing maybe the first verse or something so you can see. So I'm going to be starting on the G string with the second finger, and that's a stretched. So I'm going to be right behind the orange dot that I've got here. So there, you've got a second finger on the G string, stretched. A fourth finger on the D string, which is an open A, but I did a fourth finger on the D string because I thought trying to flip over to the A string from a G string is just going to be a nightmare. So I know you might not like putting in a fourth finger, but it is going to be the best thing overall. Then you've got a stretched third finger, okay, which is either just next to the fourth finger or just above the third finger dot, whichever is easy to you. And then you've got a stretched second finger, which is just under the dot, and then back to the stretched third finger again. Okay, and then for the next line, you've got a stretched second finger on the G, and then you've got a stretched second finger on the A. A normal one. Then you've got a back one, and then life is a normal one. Now I know some of you might say, oh, that's a little bit, why are you going? But again, it's probably not the most ideal thing to do, but it's the easiest thing to do. You know, you guys can get better at doing these sorts of things as you kind of progress. But I know, you know, some people might say, why did you do an open string? Why didn't you do it? You can do all that if you want to do that. I'm just making this as absolutely easy as possible for you. And so you can pick it up as quickly as possible. So if you want to find another way of doing that, absolutely go ahead and do that. You could go, instead of doing another one, so you could go a normal one, a back one, instead of doing sliding back to a normal one, you could use a second finger jammed in next to that if you really, really wanted to. But I'll carry on anyway. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. So you've got a normal one now on A, two stretched second fingers, so you had a stretched third there on 2, carrying on, stretched 3, stretched 2 and a stretched 3. So can you see how I've got the 4 and the 3 right next door to each other there? So that's it, it's pretty self-explanatory. The rest is pretty much down to you guys to just practice and work on that and everything, but everything is down there. If you don't follow the backs and stretched and that kind of thing, it won't work. But in terms of like notes and things, if you want to try something a little bit different, you know, then go ahead. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video.